स्वाध्याय टीवी डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी.
Namaskar. Myself, Dr. AWA SHUKLA from Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. I am here to talk about mass communication and media. Friends, over a series of lectures, we have been discussing about different kinds of mass media, mass communication, its effects amongst the people, general people rather, and then we started discussing about different types of mass media. The first type we started with was print media. In the last two series of lectures, we discussed about different types of print media. We have been discussing again and again that there are books, magazines, leaflets, newspapers, many kinds of print media which we read in our day-to-day life. The types of print medias have definitely an impact over the people and the readers. We all read some or the other thing daily. We come across different kind of write-ups anywhere we go out in the market, maybe in the television itself, maybe on the mobiles itself. So, typing and reading has become a part of our life. The print media normally is perceived to be something which is a hard copy or something which is written in a book or in a newspaper. But now with a flick of a button, we all have access to our mobile sets, we have access to the television sets, we have access to the internet or computers, wherein different kind of things are written and we read, which is already given in the printed form, maybe in the form of a book, maybe in the form of a newspapers or anything. The printed form of communication, hard copy, was popular earlier. However, with the advent of electronic media, print media has taken a back seat. Although it is said that the electronic or new age media have replaced the print media, there exists a majority of the audience who prefer the print media for various communication purposes. However, it is true that print media harms the environmental balance with its requirement for papers and chemical inks. Also, disposing of reductant print material is a problem. Most of the people today have television sets, radios and internet access which are sustainable, eco-friendly and cost-effective forms of communication. To just know about how the printed media affects the environment or how it has been produced from the natural resources. As I said earlier, the ink materials which we use definitely harms the land, the air we breathe and even the water at times, because the chemicals of production, the ink of production is disposed in the land. The papers, to make the papers, the trees are cut. The trees cut, from the wood paste is made and then the papers is produced. Let us just have a look on a 1-minute video showing the production of print media. How do we read daily newspapers? When we read, we take it so easily, friends. We just read the papers, we do not have the value, how it is produced, how the ink is being made, how we read it, how much harmful it is and still we love to read. Or let us just see a process how it is made. Let us have a look on the video. So friends, we just saw a wonderful clip on the print media's production, how the newspapers are produced, from beginning with the nature, logs of woods to its paste and to the printing and production of paper. Moreover, print media is one-way communication, while electronic media allows interaction. So nowadays, we definitely prefer to go for electronic media, but since ages, the print media has always had its own weightage. It always had its own value. We remember our family members when there were no electronic media, there were no television sets, there were no radio sets even. the print material was used, the print material was waited, the people were eagerly waiting for the news to be received. They wanted to know the day-to-day happenings around the world, around the country, in their own land with the help of print media. The newspapers they received, the magazines they received, they were waiting as it contained different kind of contents which attracted them. The viewers have their own choices of reading, they have their own choices of articles, they have their own choices of the writer of the article, the content of the article, the pictures, the write-ups, the titles always attracted the people, its readers rather. So, the print media's value cannot be devaluated, however the electronic media, however the mobile media, however the internet media takes place or comes into the competition. The print media is considered to be one of the most flourishing industries today. This medium's also particularly very popular to reach the target audience for the advertisers. Advertisements we all know, friends, we all love to see advertisements, we read advertisements. Why do we read them? Why do we find out, to find out something new, why do we search for advertisements in some printed materials? As we have our own choices of printed materials like newspapers, magazines, leaflets, hoardings or maybe some big banners. Why do we see them? We see them so that we need to know about the happenings, need to know about the market, need to know about the new products in the market, and these advertisements helps us to purchase things. This helps to promote the things, it helps the customers, it creates a customer value of the products or the services given by anyone. Even there are many political parties who have their own weightage, they come into the scenario by these kind of mediums of print media. There are many businesses, flourishing of businesses, which again come into be known to the people with the help of print media. There are many government services. Round the clock, across the road, whenever we go, we find different hoardings. What are these hoardings, friends? They give information about even the services, steps and measures taken by the government for the improvement of the people, for the improvement of its own people. So, the print media is a very big medium to promote the different kind of services, different kind of products given to the market, given to the public. The different type of print media gives plethora of options for people to reach a varied bracket of users. So, be it a newspaper or a magazine, every medium has its own particular advantage, a thing which should be considered to be the utmost importance by all the advertisements and clients. However, print media also has its own disadvantages. Now, we shall have a quick look on the advantages and disadvantages of print media. Let us begin with the advantages of the print media. Let us have a look on the slide. So, the first advantage of print media is that the different types of print media have loyal readerships, maybe the newspapers, magazines, anything. This can be very useful for the advertisers as compared to advertising on the internet. Why do we say so? Because people are very much frequently reading the print media. They are very much easily accessible to any kind of print media. So, they want to read and so they get aware of the print media, so they get aware of the advertisement, so they get aware of the information which we want to provide them. It is just with a flick of a button, you get the advertisement on internet, you get the advertisement on the television channels also, but they are not permanent. The print media gives a fixed content to you in hand. It helps a person to read, to know the benefits of a particular product. Say for example, if you want to purchase a washing machine, how will you purchase it? You will just not see the advertisement, wow, these many buttons are there, these are the operations that will bring me a white shirt. We don't go by it. We just go to the shop maybe, we ask for a printed material, that what are its benefits, how it is to be operated, give a printed manual of anything. So, they give a printed manual. Looking at the manual, you try to study and understand its functions. and after you understand the functions, we select with the product. It may be any product. So, a printed format for any kind of publicizing or publishing material, it is a must. So, it helps in giving a detailed information. The second advantage which we see is, if you are targeting a particular geographical area, you do with ease through print media. When we say geographical area, what do we understand? Say for example, a local newspaper would be a best medium to advertise about a new shopping complex. What is a shopping complex? It is something which is located in a city, maybe in a town, where you want people to know about this particular shopping complex or this particular area, or a particular maybe any kind of location you want to publicize. It helps through local print material, the local newspapers, the magazine of a region, the leaflets, the hoardings in that particular town or a city would help the people of the town or city to know about the shopping complex you want to advertise. Say for example, you are making a park available to the people. You want a water park being built in a city or in your town. How will the people of the town come to know? They will come to know through these kind of local advertisements, the local printed material, and believe me friends, there are readers who definitely would go by the printed material only. There are choices of people, as we discussed in the first point, loyal readership. What do we say by loyal readership? Loyal readership is something that if I want to read a particular newspaper, I will read that only. I would be greedy to know what is there written in the Times of India of today, or in the Indian Express, or in the Ahmedabad Times. Staying in Ahmedabad, I would like to know about the town. Many cities, actually most of the cities now have their own printed local print media. In the local print media, you come to know about the local happenings or happenings around the city. What is new in the city? What are the new restaurants in the city? What is the new fashion in the city? What is the trend of the college youth in the city? What is the new shop? What are the new accessory shops? What are the new parlors opened in the city? What are the new food fashions in the city? What are the new iconic people who are visiting to the city? You come to know about every small thing from the newspaper, local print media, or from the local hoardings. When we say print media, it is not just the local newspapers. It may be a magazine which is basically made or printed for your town. It may be a newspaper. It may be a leaflet that is available anywhere or available in the market from the roadside. It can be a hoarding. It can be electronic hoarding with printed or typed format. So, it can be anything friends. It can be a brochure kind of a thing which the people are being given or distributed, through which they can get idea of new comings or upcomings in the town or in the city. The third advantage says that you can choose the size of the advertisement or article space. This is again very much important. This will help you to plan the budget of the expenses to be incurred while advertising or while getting a content printed. At times, many printed content needs to be paid, not only the advertisements. So, while you want to get the things or while you want to get the material or content you want to convey to the people printed, you are need to be paid, and there is a budget of everything. We need to find out our budget, and accordingly we have a scope of deciding the place, column, area or size of the advertisements. Printed material have this facility very nicely. We all read newspapers, we all read magazines. Do we see the sizes of advertisements there? Some are full page. Say for example, if there is a big day to be celebrated at National Forum, the government gives a full page advertisement in the newspaper. If there is a polio day coming, the kids and children and infant and parents are called for polio drops, there is a full page advertisement. You want to advertise your product. maybe a half page advertisement as per your budget, or maybe 1/4 page, 1/4 column of a page. So, according to the budget, the size, the area, the pictures of the advertisements are selected. Even friends, the quality and printing material has its own cost. So, a cost of advertisement or a column in newspaper may be different, in magazines it may be different, a leaflet which we produce it may be different. The leaflets and all, we see the types of the pages, we come to know from this type of a page. Some are glossy, some are matte, some newspaper pages may tear off very easily. So, the quality of paper curtails to the cost, the ink, the color of the ink again curtails to the cost, the type of magazine, the type of newspaper, the outreach of the printed material again varies the cost. So, according to our requirement, according to our budget plan, we have the facility to get the advertisement or to get the column printed, and this will help the readers also to understand the readability of some papers and some magazines. They get convinced by the product as it is printed in a particular XYZ magazine or in a particular newspapers. So, accordingly even the newspapers select the advertisements, they select the columns because the faith of the reader is associated with it, and so they charge according to the faith of the readers, not only to the product, friends. So, we have a scope of deciding for advertisements regarding anything, regarding any kind of, there are many tender prints, there are many advertisements, there are many advertisements of maybe some park opening, maybe some complex opening, maybe some shop opening, new launching of different products, new launching of a movie, new upcomings of any serial in the television in a particular channels. We have hoardings outside. The hoardings may contain the different serials also, they contain different formats or events coming on the televisions also. All this is print media, all this is costly, all these incurs with some or the other cost, and these costs in turn gives revenue. So, the space of the advertisement or of the column is to be decided in the print media, and it can be decided by the customers. So, it is again an advantage to the print media. The next advantage is certain forms of print media have a very loyal fan following in terms of readers. When we say fan following in terms of readers, what is it? This would guarantee you to added readership. Fan following we have heard in serials, we have heard for some actors, we have heard for some politicians, we have heard for some authors, but the print media also has their own fan following. There are many people who just cannot get their morning begin without reading a newspaper, without reading a particular newspaper. It is like an addiction to them. Like some may not sleep without reading a newspaper, some may not begin their morning without reading the newspaper. So, it has a fan following. When we say fan following, it is not just in numbers. There are many people, there are many readers. We feel they really genuinely want to read what is happening. Even for the magazines, we can say there are many magazines, as we discussed when we were discussing about types of magazines based on different areas. There are some female based magazines, there are some fashion based magazines, there are some business oriented magazines, there are some political news based magazines. It depends upon the taste of the readers, what they want to read, what quality they want to read, and they are very much choosy, but particular in reading that print media, which in turn helps to promote the print media, to promote the magazine, to promote the newspapers and the people reading it. This fan following builds trust. So, the advantage to the print media is the readership. The readership increases, the market increases, their market value in turn increases. What is the market value? The market value actually helps the print media to sustain in the market and to sustain in the competition of electronic media, to sustain in the competition of internet media, the mobile media. In spite of having mobiles, in spite of having the internet, in spite of having television round the clock with different news items, with different entertainments, there are readers who genuinely want to read. So, the fan following helps. The next advantage is magazines and newspapers are always in the eye amongst the public. Why is it so? Magazines are read for a period of month, which brings more attention to any kind of content, any kind of advertisement, any kind of articles, any kind of a writer rather. So, always anybody would like to read and anybody would like to see the content at least. So, it brings curiosity among the readers, and so it is always in the eye of the people, it is in the eye of the readers rather. So, one should be very much conscious while writing, because the printed media is observed, it is being read, it is being read very carefully rather. Even the readers at times can object. They can say, for example, if I object to a particular write-up or I believe to a particular write-up, we have editorial columns wherein they at times invite the readers to give their suggestions, to give their opinions. So, even the readers activate, they participate actively, they give their own opinions, they give their voice to the articles written, and it helps the readers, it helps the producers or the writers, it helps the print media producers to content development. It helps to make them understand what exactly the readers want from them, what exactly is the output of a particular article or a particular type of advertisement given in the printed media. So, we should always be conscious and remain aware that people who are reading to the advertisement, to the articles, to the column, they keep an eye and they can read it again and again, and they can say, they can speak, they can opine for the printed material which is given there. You can even advertise or print through brochures or leaflets depending upon your target audience. If the information is in detail, a brochure can prove to be an apt option. A leaflet in that case would be useful for a brief message. The kinds of media, as we said, the kinds of print media, as we said, there are many varieties in that, and each has its own peculiarity. It is not just about articles or advertisements. If you want to give some detailed information, a booklet is helpful. If you want to give an information regarding an organization, an institute or something, a brochure is helpful. We love to see brochure, it is colorful, it gives handy information. Any organizations have guests who would visit their organization, who would visit their premises. What do? We always hand over with a booklet or we hand over with a brochure and we say that just have a look at it, sir. You will get an idea of what our institution is about, what our institution is working for. We have our visiting cards also. It is again a print media. What does it do? It gives an idea of your working, it gives a name to your identity. If I give my visiting card, from the visiting card you will come to know who am I, what is my name, what is my designation, where am I working, how should one contact me, where am I approachable. We give many information in that small card also, and people understand our identity from that card. Same as the brochure. Leaflet again helps to publicize any event. It can be printed in multiple numbers. The main advantage of it is cost factor. It has very little cost and it has a wide spread. The spread reach, outreach of the leaflet is again very good. So, if you are conducting an exhibition, you give advertisements, you put hoardings and you get the leaflet distributed along with the newspapers. So, the outreach of your leaflet also increases. If you are standing, you make a person stand in front of a mall or in front of any public area and get the things distributed, what happens? People will definitely have a look at it, they will just understand, they will just remember, okay, there is an exhibition, I need to visit it. there is a presentation, I need to attend it. So, the leaflet helps in that case. It helps the people to know about any activity which is going to take place, and so it helps. Books, what can be the advantage of books? Books basically are a very detailed content printed material. Many of the books, rather majority of the books are used as study materials. Any course, any print, any kind of a degree is obtained with the help of books. It is just not the any kind of media or electronic or printed and we complete a degree. It is not that. We have compiled books. All the theorists mainly writes book. Books give information, it gives knowledge, it develops the reading habits from the childhood itself. So, they are always advantageous. Even our old epics are written in the form of books and they are preserved. We all know about different kind of religious books, we all know about different kind of literary books. There are many categories. We all are fond of reading a specific kind of book. Why is it required? It gives information, it gives us a story, it gives us something concrete to learn. It is temporary, it is not temporary, it is permanently in front of us and we can learn. If you want a child to learn something, you give it in writing. You do not say you see the TV and learn. You do not say you operate the internet and learn. It can be a medium along with the printed material, along with the printed matter given in a book. So, the book prints is always required. These books helps to know the reader's interest. There are many authors who write different kind of detailed books. What are these detailed books about? They may be some fictitious book, they may be some novels, they may be some literaries, they may be some autobiographies, they may be some biographies, they may be some books related to some particular business or commerce related topics, area wise books may be there. What are those? They actually give concrete hard information to its readers, and so the preservation of book is also encouraged day by day. Nowadays, no doubt there are many medias, no doubt there are many electronic medias, but the preservation of printed materials, the preservation of books is always encouraged. Why is it encouraged? We all want our children to develop reading habits. Even our parents tell us to read. What is it? They actually want us to develop a habit of reading and know something that is concrete and not just which is seen on television. Reading Ramayana and seeing Ramayana on television is entirely different. You just see, you just come to know about the incidents taken place, and reading definitely gives a different feel, friends. This was all about advantages of print media. We would end our session today by as we discuss the advantages of print media, and tomorrow we shall meet, in the next session we shall meet and discuss about the disadvantages of print media. I end my lecture here, friends. Thank you. Namaste.
स्वाध्यायः परमं तपः
स्वाध्याय टीवी